We was talking about the mixtape game. This one of the guys of the game, man.
I'm trying, man.
Remember how much trouble we used to get into, like in like 01, 02?
Kidnapped by rappers, cease and desist by labels.
Cool Kid used to just give me the call like, yo, we about to put 50 and Tupac out. I'm like, 50 and Tupac? He like, yo.
Jimmy Iovine in Canada.
Man, Cool Kid used to get into a lot of trouble back in the day, man. But we did it for y'all. It was all right.
Yeah, I did it for you losers out there for free too.
Wow.
Well, partially for free, but yeah, mostly for free.
The idea for the hottest MCs came up with an argument. Well, I won't call it an argument. I call it a debate. Me and my big bro Sway, we was sitting in the office. He was at my desk, and I don't know why we started talking about Big. Maybe I was playing the album. I don't know, but me and Sway started debating about which album was greater, Life After Death or Ready to Die. Now, when I say that, both of us feel that both projects were classic. Like, you won't get no blasphemy. Like, we're not dissing Big in any way. Like, we think Ready to Die is a classic. We think Life After Death is a classic. But the conversation is, where was Big at his best? We going back and forth for like a good 30 minutes. Like, I'm telling you, like, we quoting lyrics, we bringing up songs, we talking about articles, and we going at it hard. So Michael Alex, who was the head of MTVnews.com at the time, he was like, yo, what you guys talking about? And then we tell him, and then we both laying out our arguments why each record is better. And he was like, yo, we should try to develop this. This is something bigger, no pun intended. And you know, one of the main things that we said, man, when we started out with, at the time it was the greatest of all time, was that you see all these lists, and I love it. I'm a list person. I read, I buy magazines. I just bought Ebony magazine because they had the top comedians of all time, and I read the list and I get infuriated. I like, oh, that's a bunch of BS, you know. But you never get a chance to see the actual argument. Like, you just see the list 1 through 10 or 1 through 100 or whatever, but you really never get a chance to see the argument or how they put the list together, and you definitely don't get the chance to see the people who put the list together. So that's one of the things with us, man. We was like, we're gonna pull the curtain, we're gonna bring y'all behind the curtain, and we're gonna show you the arguments and everything. And I think that's one of the things that why people love it, not just the list, because anybody could come up with the list, but you know, we showing you that, yeah, we are 10 experts and we are knowledgeable. And while you may not agree with the list as being gospel, you gotta respect some of the arguments and understand why we come into these decisions. And we said, let's do a round table. And it's funny because the first round table, I don't think too many people saw it, but the first round table was actually the greatest hip-hop album of all time. So that was our first debate. It was 10 of us sitting at a table. We recorded it. I don't think it went to air. It went online, and the top album was Eric B. and Rakim, Paid in Full. Out of greatest albums of all time, we did the ever so controversial greatest MCs of all time. That was the next one. We said, well, we did albums, let's take it up another level. And we did the greatest MCs of all time, and Jay-Z was #1. Then we did greatest groups of all time, and then after greatest groups, I wanted to do producers. Let's put that on the record. I thought we gotta finish it. You know, like in movies you have trilogies. We had to bring the fourth thing in. We did greatest albums, we did greatest MCs, greatest groups. I was like, well, we can't leave it on the cliffhanger. We gotta do producers. We gotta bring in the fourth one. But we just thought, we was like, well, how can we make it more current and up to date? Let's do who's, I mean, when we say hottest, like who's hottest right now, like in the past 6 months to a year, like who's really been dominating the game. And once we did that, that just took off, because, you know, greatest is, I think it's dope, I love it, but a lot of the fans, like a lot of our fan base, weren't even born when some of those records came in. And And when we put that Hottest MCs list out, man, oh my God. The phone calls was coming in like crazy. Rappers was talking about it on their mixtapes. And Lil Wayne, Weezy F Baby, Hottest MC at the time, and he was just undeniable in 07. He was, I remember ironically, we told Wayne the news that he was awarded Hottest MC backstage at his infamous show at the Beacon. And a couple of hours later, he would get arrested, and you all know he had to do time. But I just remember me personally being able to tell him the news that he made the Hottest MC, and he was just so humble, and he was thankful for it, and he thought it was dope, man. And being able to be respected by not just Wayne, but just everybody in the game, people just respecting the list as it being like one of the biggest events in hip hop is definitely a career milestone. And me being one of the creators, saying that I actually helped create that and help make that movement, that's something that nobody could ever take away from me. That's something that I'm always cherish for my whole career.